Alright, today guys I'm going to be doing a revised version of the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation custom tactics. I done a video on these about a month ago, just before the patch, after I came second in Europe with them, but now with this patch the game's changed and I thought I'd bring you a revised version of these tactics. I've been getting a lot of requests for them, so I thought I'd finally do it. Here's my team that I've been using. Currently 10th in the Rivals leaderboard right now, after getting 2,381 skill rating. Excuse me, as you needed 2,375 for the FGS3, the third qualifier of the year. So of course as a pro I need to get that, and I am currently 10th using this team and this tactic, as well as some other tactics that I will be bringing out soon. But I'm going to get into them now. And I've got the old tactic set up here just to show you. This is what it was before. If you want to watch that video, um, it's on my channel about a month ago. It might not be too much good use to you now, but it might still work for some people. It's still a decent tactic, but what I've changed is just little things. By example, bringing the width up to 40 and the depth down to 60 as the game has changed. Fast build up I now play unbalanced, and I also put the width up to 40. Um, yeah, I feel like this works better now. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's more important to be a bit wider now, as the overload isn't quite as much. The driven passes aren't quite as effective, so that's why. And I keep playing direct passing because even though the driven passes aren't as good, you can still push the other team back, the opponent back into their box, and that gives you the room. Even with driven passes not being as good, it's still effective. You want the opponent back, so you find the room in the middle, and still 7 players in the box because of that overload is still effective. Corners is still on 1, and free kicks on 1. Even though the patch has supposedly fixed the corner glitch, it's still there's still about 3 or 4 variants of it that are still very broken. So I keep that on 1, and then free kicks. That's just whatever, 1 or 2. I play it on 1. This is how it lines up in the actual game. So Ginola left, Mbappe right, Neymar here. Left CM is the more defensive one, but Nkunku is also good going forward, but I have him on stay back, as you'll see. The Messi role, right CM as I call it. Fofana, and then a couple of new boys coming in, Delane and Dejao here. But into the instructions, these are, I think, pretty the same, or maybe I've changed 1 or 2 things. Balance on the keeper as always. Stay back and overlap on the fullbacks as it was before. All the defence is the same as before, nothing changed. As I was saying, Nkunku, stay back while attacking, cover wing. Fofana, stay back, cover centre, cut passing lanes I have on now, as I've put on there to show you. Yeah, this is because the interceptions, they were supposed to be fixed manually. Manual interceptions for driven passes were supposed to be sorted, but now with the AI interceptions and positioning being so important, I think it's important to have cut passing lanes on, because as bad as it is, Fofana's AI will just cut the passing lanes for you without you having to press a button a lot of the time. So I have that on. Neymar, you can now, I think it's more valuable now to put stay forward on, but I have it on balanced. I just leave that as is. And then the strikers getting behind, come back on defence on Mbappe, getting behind on Genoa, and nothing else. So very similar to the tactics before the patch, just a few things with the depth and the width going up and down, and with Fofana cutting passing lanes. It's nothing crazy. Um, I've used these tactics to get 10th in the world, so they are good, but I've also been using other tactics. Um, I think in solos, these tactics, if you're an Elite Division player in a way, these are good for solos, but for duos or twos, they're not as good. So I'd recommend playing these for solos if you're in whatever division or in weekend league or whatever. But if you're an elite division player and you're playing twos, I would recommend something else, maybe 4-2-2 or 4-3-2-1, which I'll provide a video on soon. But yeah, that's the video, guys. If you enjoyed, drop me a like, comment what you think of the new tactics, how you're getting on, what you're using, if you've packed a team or anything, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.